actually the first ever International Uyghur Language Day. And the World Uyghur Congress designated this day as the first International Uyghur Language Day because of the importance of preserving the Uyghur language, especially the Uyghur language education, both in East Turkestan and abroad. The conundrum is the Uyghur people are gradually losing our language in East Turkestan because of China's so-called bilingual language policy, and also the Uyghurs who are outside of China, especially the children who were born in other countries like the US, they're also losing their language because of the big melting pot. And another reason why we are having this panel discussion is this is actually the 27th anniversary of the peaceful protest in Urumqi, which took place also on June the 15th, 1988. I was actually a participant of that protest. And in those good old days, Uyghurs, students from Xinjiang University, from Normal University, from Medical University, all other major universities, more than 5,000 people took the streets peacefully to protest against Chinese government's repression in East Turkestan, nuclear testing, as well as the end to state discrimination against Uyghurs in employment, especially in Uyghur language education. Even in 1988, we want to preserve Uyghur language education, which is extremely lacking these days. So that's another reason. And today we have a number of excellent panelists, and our moderator is Henry Shijevsky. He's a senior researcher at the Uyghur Human Rights Project. He's going to moderate. Now I would like to invite Henry to introduce our panelists. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. And I was just talking to Alan before the event got started, and learned today that the Umair Trust in Pakistan is opening a Uyghur language school in Rawalpindi today. So it's quite an auspicious day for the Uyghur language. So here we are. This is the panel for today, and this panel is really based on a new report that UHRP has published on bilingual education. It's this one here, Uyghur Voices on Education, and I believe there are copies over there on the wall to the side. As I said, we're going to hear some interesting testimony, and I'm particularly looking forward to it. We have 3 Uyghurs to tell us about their experiences of bilingual education, and of course, Greg Fay here, who is also an expert on bilingual education. So I won't delay, and I'll get to the first speaker, and I'll introduce each speaker before they start. And our first speaker is Nigara Saverdin. Yeah. And from 2000 to 2012, she studied in elementary and high schools in East Turkestan, whilst the Chinese government enforced bilingual education policy. She enrolled at the Shanghai International Studies University to study Japanese, and came to the United States in November 2012. Nigara is now studying for a bachelor's degree in international studies at the Northern Virginia Community College. So I'll hand it over to Nigara.
Thank you. So here I am. Good afternoon, everyone. So since a while ago, there is a question in my mind all the time. So what would it cause me here? I was looking for an internship job on the State Department website recently, and there is a lot of good opportunity for student program, but all of them were required American citizen. So it seems so familiar to me, just as most of the Chinese agency made clear, and when they are hiring the people, they only need Chinese. So I was asking myself, like, why we look like orphans, like we don't belong anywhere. So, however, at the same time, I ask myself, for all of you, what would you do if you know what I know here? So I have no answer about this as well, but I believe I would never give up to be the voice of Uyghur people from my country and who are fight for their freedom there in East Turkestan. So the reason brought me here today is talk about my true feeling when I was a Minkao Han on bilingual education with Chinese policy. So to be any student from East Turkestan, actually the bilingual education policy is familiar for us. So since I remember first day going to school, the course book when I opened, there is no my mother tongue anymore. It's all full with Chinese Mandarin. So I cannot remember when I lost my ability to speak with my mother tongue for even basic term for my daily life. And also I don't remember since when I totally forgot to how to recall, like put my hand to the right side of my cheek to do a traditional greeting to elders. So the bilingual education just changed us like mentally. So under this situation, like my own custom and everything started to slowly change. But at the first time for forever in my life, when I was 17, when I opened the Uyghur language course book, I truly realized like the bilingual education has totally changed me. So I had to start to question myself, like, is this some problem for myself? Like, do I really is like, so I started to anyway question myself. But I remember when I was in high school, when I planned getting my dream university, I was studying all night, and even for the weekend, I had to go to some special course to do some more exercise, to do more exercise, just to become better and get a better score to go into my dream college. And finally, I did that. But how come for my native language, I have no idea even except from my name. So what's going on there? I would start to ask myself. So, so I believe like if you want to find yourself, you should know first of all who you are, and then since this, you can know what you want and you know where your future is. So I think at this point, everybody should wondering why then if I'm crazy for my mother language, so why don't I just straight go to Uyghur school? Actually now for Urumqi standard, there is no like Uyghur school anymore. Even there are some schools called like Uyghur school, but only for Uyghur class they use this language, and the rest of them are all Mandarin instruction. So I even hear for now, like for elementary school, they start to touch the Uyghur from like 3rd grade. As a student, I know like as the day since the day you walk into school and then you get the education, everything. So until the 3rd grade, the language system is full of your mind. So when the 3rd grade they teach you your native language, for me, from my experience, it's just exactly as hard as like I learn English right now. I still remember the first day when I was 17, I walked into the tutoring class to learn my native language, and I even cannot like pronounce it correctly. And for some very basic item, when my teacher asked me what is this, I was like, okay, I know Chinese, but I don't know this. So I can see my teacher, he was actually is my mom's teacher, so he's kind of like old man, but he's really nice, but I can see the disappointment from his eyes. So since then, I did little promise for myself, so I will do better. So, yeah, so and there is another problem I would like to talk with you guys, like, since we become a Minkao Han, so for the college intern exam, we can receive like 50 points for minority point. But for this, we have to spend our entire 1 year to get the special education. But for this, they call it prepare education for college. But actually, for us, it's really not necessary at all. And for me, I was there for 3 months, and all they taught us was like math and basic Mandarin, math, and English, which of them like I already learned since I was in elementary school. And also we were preparing for Gaokao, which is everybody knows like high pressure in China. So we learned everything already. So for this whole year, what we do and what is my friends doing was just like sleeping on the the class and skipping class and just go to cafeteria, play games, talk with our friend, and we're just wasting the whole years. And the next year, when we go back to school, they go to the university where we belong to, and all of our classmates are like younger than us a year. And also we already forget the passion when we like fought for Gaokao. We learned a lot, and we forgot all of them. We got used to like the sleep, like wake up late and just go there to enjoy the like a free life. So we don't have that much passion anymore. So it took us a while to come back and then like fought for our university life again. So this is basically what I'm going to talk today. So I believe like people will forget what you say and they will forget what you did. But I think they would never forget what you let them feel. So I hope after today, after my speech, there will be a new vision of Uyghur people. Even like there is many terrible things happening back home, people are dying, they will just fight for their freedom and human rights. But I believe we are brave and hopeful, and also I think one day there will be a fair judgment for us, and then the peaceful will never go away.